Federal government, meanwhile, is responding to the latest threat to Canada from extremist militants, saying Canadians should remain vigilant. The threat comes from an Ottawa man who appears in a new video from ISIS. CBC News is uncovering more about him and the circle he moved in Ottawa. The story this morning from our senior correspondent, Adrian Arsenault.
The new ISIS threats are aimed at Canada and delivered by a Canadian, a man calling himself Abu Anwar al-Canadi. It's 6 minutes and 13 seconds of venom.
So it should not surprise you when operations by the Muslims are executed where it hurts you the most.
He praises the recent attacks in Ottawa and Quebec and berates Muslims who live in Canada. And he wasn't always this fierce. His name is John Douglas Maguire from Ottawa. One family member, too frightened to be identified, sent us this statement. This young man is definitely John Douglas, but not the John Douglas that we knew, loved, and remember. You cannot imagine how badly I feel that I did not realize or understand what was going on at the time. Could anyone? It appears he was in the sights of authorities before he reportedly left for Syria on a one-way ticket in January 2013. CBC has learned that of the circle Maguire moved in Ottawa, a handful of others have either left to fight with extremist groups too, or have social media profiles now dripping in ISIS propaganda. Among them, Abdul Baki Hanif, who was a friend of Maguire's. That ISIS would use Canadians to both recruit and threaten isn't new. It was Canadian Andre Poulin who was among the first ISIS video recruiters.
I was like any other regular Canadian. I watched hockey, I went to the cottage in the summertime.
The normal hockey-loving guy approach being used again now.
I was a typical Canadian. I grew up on the hockey rink.
Talking of his Canadian identity in the past tense, we've also seen this before.
We will destroy you.
Ferris Sheardon dramatically burning his passport in an ISIS ceremony. And a Quebec jihadist believed to be in Syria, dubbed El Sami, burning, then shooting his Canadian passport. Clearly, no turning back. And there likely isn't for John Maguire either. Adrian Arsenault, CBC News, Toronto.